Hi everyone, this is Tracy from We Craft at Home. Thank you for joining me. And as you saw in the previous pictures, I'm going to show you how to do a house card. Now it's very simple, the dimensions you need. Full disclosure, I did see this on YouTube. I really liked it. So I've changed it a little bit and I have converted it onto canvas. That way it's easier to do the layers that you need instead of all the measuring out that you would normally need. And so I want to share it with all of you. It's very simple. The thing is, it just spans across every single type of card you want to make. So I'm going to show you the basic shape, and then over at the craft table I'm going to be doing a Christmas card. I've already tested it and I've done like a shed card, but you could do whatever you wanted. You could do new home. I was thinking maybe a nativity scene as well, for another idea for a Christmas card. There's maybe a pub scene, just anything at all that you can imagine. It just goes across so many genres. That's why I loved this, and that's why I felt like I had to do it. So I'm going to move all this across, and honestly, it is so simple. We are going to start with a square. I am going to take this right-handed triangle here, because we're going to need that in a bit. So first of all, untick maintain aspect ratio, and we want the width to be 8 1/4, and then we want the height at 11. Now that's the size I've decided to go with. When I tested it out first with my shed, I'd done it a bit smaller than that, so it's 10 by 7.5, I think, and that was a bit smaller. I could do it a little bit bigger, but for measurement's sake, this seemed to be the safest option, or the easiest option for all you to understand. So first things first, we are going to put this up onto the 0, 0. Now the easiest way for me to explain this, first of all, we need a score line going across the middle. So we'll just do that quickly. Change it to a score line, and then what we're quickly going to do is to grab them both and align it through the middle. That way we know it's in the perfect place. That's the easiest thing for that one. Now we need another score line going down, and the easiest way for me to describe this is you need it kind of a third of a way across. So you want this square here, and then you want this bit to be half of this square. If that makes any sense to you at all, I hope it does. So where we need it anyway is at the X on 275. So this is 5.5, and the one I'd done with the shed was just 5 on the square. So that's the difference. You could do it a little bit bigger, but you've got to think about how you're going to divide it, and you know, that kind of thing. So for going across, let's just move this a little bit out of the way. We're going to need 2 lines. Now these we're just going to use to make sure that our fold is going to be in the correct place. So the score line is at 5.5 because it's half of 11, which means this one has to be half of 5.5, which is 275, which we're going to do on the Y because it's going across. So 275, and then we need another one, and that needs to be at 825. Wow, that's a pretty good guess. Now we're taking these away in a minute. This is just so that we can make sure that we get our score line for the roof in the right place, and we know we've got to start there, come to the middle, and then go to this line here. If we're getting a bit closer, I think that might help a little bit. Make sure we get it in the right place. So again, path tool, start on the corner of that, and then we're going to go where these meet, and then down to this corner here. We're going to change that to a score line. And then when I go out, you'll see that is the actual card shape. So you can delete those two lines now, because we've got all our scores in the right place. And if I bring this out, you'll be able to see what I mean. We've got all the right scores in the right place, like that. So now we need to do the layers. Now I played around a bit with this, and I found for these ones here, the easiest way to do this, I am just going to duplicate that before I forget and put it down there. The easiest way is to get another square, make sure it's untick aspect ratio, and we want it to fit inside this bit here. So we know that's 275. So this one we want at 2.5, because we always go down in quarter inches. You see it fits nicely inside. The height, we know the whole height of that is 11. So we'll do it at 10 3/4. And there we go, it fits nicely inside. But we need to cut out this bit. And this is where this comes in. Now, to get the triangle at the right width that we've got there, we need to change the angle to 315. And there you see it's in the right place. And now we just need to make it bigger. Okay, so because what we want to do, if I go in closer again, I can actually explain it a bit better. So what we want to do with this, with this triangle, we want to make sure, I need it a little bit bigger, that it goes over these two score lines so that there's a little gap, and over the edge of the rectangle. And that looks about right to me. So I'm going to come out just a little bit more. So then what we're going to do, if we get both, so we've got the rectangle and the main triangle, I'm going to make sure that the triangle goes through the middle of the rectangle, so that we know that it's in the right place. And then we are going to subtract. And that, if I come out, as you can see, will leave us with the two parts there. Then all we have to do is divide so that they're two separate pieces. To me, that was the easiest way to do it, instead of trying to measure the right angles and all that. Now, depending on how you want to do your house, if you've got one that is where you want a mat on the inside and the outside, like I do, if you've seen the Christmas house, I want brickwork on the outside and what looks like wallpaper on the inside. I am going to duplicate, but what you want to do, if I put it side by side, that's if you want to do an inside as well as an outside, like I'm going to. Why we're on that subject, because the pattern I've chosen, so the brickwork is going to look the same, so let's say upright, as if it was upside down. It's still going to be brickwork flowing the same way, and that's the kind of paper you're going to need. Like my so-called wallpaper is actually an all-over pattern, like a plaid, so it will work either way, and you just need to be careful of that. Do not use a pattern that can only work going in one direction, because it will be difficult to do with these cuts unless you make sure you know which way each one's got to face. So that's why I'm doing this, and I've turned 2 of them. Now we need these 2 here. So first thing I'm going to do is flip it so that that one will go in there. But we need it to be, I think 2.5 will fit. So 2.5 fits just nicely. And then all we're going to do is, again, layer duplicate, and this time we are going to flip vertically so it fits nicely down there. So there you've got your pieces. It's up to you, but I do not feel like you need a triangle on the inside. I'm only doing it as the roof for that. And then all you need after that is your squares for this part, and of course tick back to maintain aspect ratio, and that is 5.25. Duplicate. One will be for an insert and one will be for the front layer of the card. You can do a couple of layers if you'd wish to. Just keep going on the inset if you offset. I keep saying inset. Go on the offset, do it at about an 8 inward. This one can be bevel because there's no round corners, and you can just do as many inserts as you wish. The same with these, but I do feel like you only need one. Other tip for the main card, try and use about a 200 GSM. I think that's enough. Anything above that makes it really hard to fold all these corners in together here. So I would go no more than a 200 GSM. You could probably go a bit less than that, to be fair. A 180 maybe, but that's about it really. So now I will leave you to cut all that out, and I will see you over at the craft table. Okay, so I'm over at the craft table. This is the card base, and what you need to do first, fold it that way, open it up, and then fold it that way. And then you're going to fold it back that way and put it in. Hopefully by doing that it's going to be easier to fold, because that's quite a thick piece there that you're trying to fold, and it'll be easier to fold that way. And then you're going to open this out and try and flatten it like that, and as you do it the score lines will start going in the right place. And what you need is for this, I don't know if you can see the score line there, to be level with this fold here, and then you know it's in the right place. And then burnish your lines, make sure they're all fine, and that is the basic shape. Now this is the decision you've got to make. So I've seen some people like to do it open, with the card open like that. I don't want to do that. I am going to stick it down. I think it sits better and everything folds better. So I am going to glue the middle down, but that's a choice you have to make yourselves. Just literally folding it flat. I ripped it a bit there. Just hoping by the time I put the layers on it's not going to be such an issue. Don't really want to waste a card, and that's just a bit of card, but I'm tight like that. Okay, so now when you stand it up, I feel like it sits better, but like I said, it's personal choice, so you do it your way. Now all it is now is putting on all the layers. So obviously this is the layer for here. And then the back layer with the insert, and I did do another offset square for that, and then I printed out a nice little sentiment. So it says, from home to home and heart to heart, from one place to another. The warmth and joy of Christmas bring us closer to each other. And I thought that went with like a house, so I went with that one. And that's just going to go on the back so that you can write a message on the back. If you're leaving it open, you can put it inside. So now it's just decorating. You don't have to do all of these bits, I just feel like it's unfinished. So you'll see what I mean now about these shapes. It is difficult to describe, but you need one going in opposite directions. And I did do one for the inside so that I could show you. So you need one of each. So on the screen they looked like that, and I said you need one from the top and one from the bottom, and then they go in opposite directions and fit on each side like that, and then that'll fit one on each side inside. So let's add them. Now when I was printing out this, I realised the best way to print them out is to do them that way, so that they're, when you stick them on, they're going the right way when you're looking at it. That's if you've got like a directional pattern like a brick wall. With the tartan, I don't think it matters quite as much. Okay, so now you can see we've got our doorway with the inside showing, standing up like that, so it looks pretty smooth. Now for this, I want to put a bit of a smaller square down so that you could still see the brickwork around it. But you can see I have put some just narrow 3mm tape all the way round. I lifted it up so I could make sure there was no space and covered it, and I am just going to take it all off and glitter the outside, because I felt like there wasn't enough contrast. Between the two, if you look there, I don't feel like it stands out quite enough. Plus, it's Christmas, you have to have a little bit of glitter. Okay, so I am using Tonic's Festival Gold, it's called. Look at the sparkle on that. So I didn't really have a glitter card as a backing, and this is just a cheap way of doing it. I'm sure you all know it, but if you don't, that's why I thought I'd do it on camera for those of you that haven't seen this before. And as you can see, what it does is give me a perfect glitter edge all the way around. Okay, I'm just gonna Just a cheat's way of having a glitter border. And now I am just going to glue the back so that I can stick it down. So you can see now there's a bit of a better contrast between the two. And you've got your bit of glitter for Christmas in there as well. And then all I've done, because it's a house, I thought I'd use my lovely giant From Our Home to Yours. And I've done it just on gold satin mirror. I prefer the satin mirror, and I've done it on foam. Stuck it on foam before I cut it out. So I know I've used this one before, but I love this sentiment just as a simple one, and you can send it to anyone like that, can't you? There we go. So just like that. Now for the inside, I have a Christmas tree. So these parts I did get from the Tattered Lace digital as well, and I sized it down because it was much bigger. I loved this, and I don't see the point in having it and not using it. So this is the tree, and I sparkled it up a little bit. I used indigo blue unicorn sparkles. If you've never used this, honestly, you've got to give it a go. It is the most sparkliest, is that the right word? Look. It is just so dazzlingly sparkle. I don't know if you get the same problem, but around Christmas trying to get white glitter card is impossible. And I make my own glitter card using that, and it is stunning. Stunning. So all you do is spray glue or glue, tape, whatever you've got, a piece of A4 card, and then sprinkle that over the top, and you get your own glitter card. It's incredible. Okay, I'm doing that flat because then we've got a few layers. So these are like Christmas presents with a nutcracker that I am going to put along the bottom. But there we go. Lovely little Christmas scene. Stands gorgeous. And your insert is on the back, or like I said, if you don't want to stick that down, you don't have to. I just prefer to. And there we go, gorgeous little card that was really simple, no problems at all, and you can do anything with it. Oh, I'm showing you it before I've put a sentiment on it, but this is the shed one, like that. So scene of a shed inside. This is a tiny bit smaller, like that, see? But you see the same effect. Now, that's what I was going to show you, actually. So if we look at the two roofs, you see they go directional the right way. And this way, I didn't think about it, and I've done it so that they didn't. So that was lesson learnt for me. So make sure you do it. And that's how you want to do it, so that the two straight edges are back to back. And that will give you the right way round. Okay, so we just need a little sentiment on that. And there's one. And there's a Christmas one. I do love the Christmas one, but I mean, like I said, the opportunities are endless. New home, nativity scene with a shed or a barn, shed. for a man, or a pub, maybe a pub scene, or darts, or you know, that sort of thing inside, or a boutique, nail salon. Oh, like I said, the possibilities are endless. So I hope you enjoy that, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.